Share your love and creativity for baking. Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Last Friday on the Tastemaster SA, after a mini challenge up front, Tahila, Josh and Catherine were sent straight to the next elimination, leaving the remaining contestants to compete for the Royal Baking Powder pin. With the task of creating a petite four, it was Derek who walked away with top honours. For Shanae, Senzo and Chapiso, landing in the bottom three means they join the others in tonight's elimination challenge.
Welcome back to the kitchen, contestants, and welcome to your next elimination challenge. I do hope that you are ready to bake for your life today, because at the end of today's bake, one of you will be going home.
Elimination actually really excites me. I'm feeling confident going into this challenge, and I don't want to think about going home because it's not going to happen.
Derek, you won the last challenge, congratulations, and won yourself a Royal Baking Powder pin. You therefore have the power to save someone from today's elimination. Will you be playing that pin?
I've got this Royal Baking Powder pin. It's a bit of a safety net. It feels good. Just because I feel like I might be needing it, I'll be hanging on to it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry.
Senzo, you're in elimination again. What do you have to say for yourself this time?
I want to go by elimination and try it.
And Josh?
I mean, I've been here. I've been in the elimination, but it just means more TV time. And they say that 3 times is a charm.
Give me some credit. I saved you for the second one.
You saved me, but you know what? I don't plan on staying here. I'm gonna work my way to the top. I love baking because it has taught me to be patient. It's taught me to work with the ingredients that I have in front of me. It allows you to be a creative person. And it's also taught me that unity is the key. It's allowed me to bring my family and friends around the table for some good conversation pieces, good laughs, and it just creates a platform and experience for endless love. Winning the Tastemaster SA for me would be unbelievable. I've always loved food, I've always loved being in the limelight, so I said why not combine the two together? You know what, I started off in the kitchen, who says I can't end up on TV? Look where I am today.
This week, you will be baking something that you're unlikely to find on shop shelves. Today, you are baking breads of our ancestors. From Dombolo, Amakwenya, Millibrood, today you are baking old school, traditional South African breads.
Bread in our culture is very close to our hearts because we eat it with almost everything.
I'm so bad at making bread, so I'm feeling very nervous right now.
Our guest judge today is a foodie, a food journalist, and somebody who's very passionate about traditional South African food. Today she's joined by the person who taught her everything she knows. Please welcome Khanya Mzongwana and her mother, Loyiso.
Hello. Hey you guys, it's so awesome to be here. I'm so excited to show you guys just how South African bread is made, and of course, an heirloom recipe, the recipe that my mom taught me, which was passed down to her by her mom, which was passed down by her mom and her mom. I've remixed it in my own special way, and I'm just really excited for mom to pass the torch.
I love the combination of Khanya baking with her mom. My mom is the one that taught me how to bake from when I was little, so it brings back memories from my childhood.
I never thought Khanya would really be so interested in my baking. Taking it from my own mother, who was very strict and very judgmental about how we do it. So I'm happy that Khanya has taken it actually on a level that I don't think I'll ever be even thinking of doing.
Wow, well I hope Loyiso takes it easy on you today and is not that strict, but I'm sure she won't be. To help you guide you along for this elimination challenge, Khanya and her mom will be taking you on a masterclass to teach you more fundamentals about South African traditional bread baking.
Khanya en haar ma is lekker om te ontmoet omdat hulle ook van PE af is. En kyk waar sit sy nou. Dis amazing. Sy's 'n food editor en ek is baie opgewonde om te leer by haar wat sy vir ons gaan wys.
Do you have a traditional bread recipe that's been handed over from generation to generation? Well, we'd love to see it. We're giving away 12 KitchenAid stand mixes, one every single week. Bake your traditional bread using royal baking powder, upload it onto socials using the hashtag #TheTasteMasterSA. You could win one of your very own.
We can't wait to see you bake more South African bread memories.
What I'm hoping to learn in this masterclass is combining traditional techniques with a modern twist.
I'm hoping to learn how to make bread and not make it flop from this masterclass. So honestly, anything that I learn at this point that can make my bread better, I'll be happy with.
Hi everybody, welcome to mine and my mom's African bread masterclass. The reason that this lovely woman is standing here next to me is because Loyiso taught me everything about baking bread, and to this day it is the recipe that I reference when I make anything bread related. The cool thing about today's bread is it's going to be infused with one of my mom's favorite things of all time, marrow bones. Would you like to share with us your obsession with marrow bones?
It takes me back. I used to use it a lot. I'll put it in my stews, my soups. The best for me was to stand where my kids won't see me and just go. And I have to be cool again. They can't see me doing that. Yeah.
So we're gonna put all that massive flavor into this bread. I've already roasted these, and what I'm gonna do is scoop that fat out, and I'm gonna just render that oil. So while I do that, Mom, you can start to activate that yeast.
Bone marrow in bread? This is something new to me, but this is something that I'm intrigued about.
It really enriches the bread. You know, there's something about fat in bread that just like kind of gives it that nice fluffy and soft texture. And it's just like an idea that popped into my head one day, and I was like, why have I not been doing this the whole time? We're gonna put all our dry ingredients in here, except the yeast, of course. I want you guys to all know just how judgmental my mom is about bread baking. It's like something about your personality. Like if you can't bake bread, it's like, not much of a quality human being, are you?
It's so great to see a mother and a daughter doing a masterclass together. It kind of made me feel at home.
Okay, so I've added that beautiful bone marrow fat to our yeast, which has started activating and getting all bubbly. So I'm just gonna combine this roughly.
Khanya is using only about 5 ingredients or less. She isn't even using milk or eggs. Simple is the way to go, and I'm gonna use that in my next challenge.
This is the part where we can't run away from the kneading, right? Whilst we're at it, I feel like a bread is only as good as the butter that's spread on it. Am I right? Can I get a witness? Yes. So Mom is going to help me put together this other really awesome butter that I came up with. So this is some onions that I slowly caramelized, and then my secret ingredient in there is impepho. It's an African herb. It's used for communication with the ancestors, right? It's also one of those all ailment type of things, you know, where it's brewed into a tea and it's good for colds and flu, even like period cramps. And it's just got these kind of woolly, felty kind of leaves and like floral, herby kind of a taste. And then what I did was I mixed it up with some fresh thyme, and then we got some garlic and onions here, which we cooked down for a really long time.
Baking with impepho was very interesting because thina impepho lapha ngisuka khona siyayihlonipha kakhulu. We respect impepho very much. But yeah, I found using impepho on baking, so I was very interested.
Okay, so while we're busy waiting for that bone marrow bread to prove, I want to show you guys my second bread. This bread is going to be infused with imifino, which I have learned from my mom is like the collective for like, you know, wild foraged greens. Nothing in the garden is rubbish.
Adding leaves to your bread does not come as a shock to me because that granny of mine would literally cut whatever's in the garden and throw it into the bread. Fennel, tomato leaves, spinach, dhania, the list could go on.
Okay, so I've heated a pan up here, and then we're gonna fry up some onions and garlic. Then we're going to incorporate our greens. We're just gonna let those cook nice and slowly. So you're gonna put the dry ingredients in there for me. Okay, so my secret ingredient in this bread, which is something that Mom didn't necessarily do, is a level teaspoon of baking powder. And this just kind of helps the process along, and it just delivers a really nice fluffy dough.
Today I'm learning that there's no limit to what you can do with bread. There's so many flavors and elements that you can add to bread that I never would have thought of. Or speeding up the process using royal baking powder, that's like a huge tip for me.
We're going to make a nice little well there in the dry ingredients, and then we're going to start incorporating. This dough is just such a pleasure to handle.
Looks good already. Very nice and fluffy.
Beautiful.
I like what I'm seeing.
Okay, great. So I'm going to put this in a nice warm place, and we're going to get it to rise until it's like about doubled in size. Okay.
Wow, Khanya using all of those ingredients in Fino. It's a first for me. However, I'm very interested to find out how it tastes.
Oh, indeed. Oh. So this is our bone marrow bread. It's got a really, really delicious smell, aroma already. So we've got that amazing beef fat. So we're gonna just get it all into those little orifices. And then this beautiful green goddess, we're gonna put it into our fashioned double boiler, which is basically just about 4 fingers of water boiling in a really big pot. And we're gonna let it steam from the inside for plus minus an hour.
I wish everyone could smell this bread right now. Think Sunday roast meets potjie. Honestly, in my opinion, no better smell and no more comforting smell than the smell of homemade bread.
Khanya taking out that jack. Oh, the color, I can just see. It's soft, it's beautiful. I'm salivating right now.
Here we've got the steam bread, which I'm so relieved worked out thanks to my lovely mom over here. This is our amazing bone marrow bread, and you can only get that great crust when you enrich the top with that good fat, which we're going to be serving with that amazing mpepo and thyme butter that we made earlier. That's good stuff, eh?
Wow, that crust on top. Absolutely divine.
Honestly, I can say hands down, it's the best bread I've ever had, and I think that butter played a huge role in that.
I have no words.
Chef's kiss. That was beautiful.
Up next, Catherine, Chapizo, Senzo, Tahila, Josh and Shanae take on the traditional bread elimination challenge. And congratulations to our episode 4 viewer winner, Jacqueline Keller, who walks away with a brand new KitchenAid stand mixer for her delicious baked vegan donuts, with gluten-free cake flour mix and applesauce as her egg replacement.
Why not order from your oven? With precision, raise your standards and make it matter. AEG. Challenge the expected.
The time has come, Tastemaster bakers, for the elimination challenge. 6 bakers walk into the kitchen today. Only 5 will remain after today's bake.
You will be given 2 hours to present your traditional South African bread with 2 accompaniments. The accompaniments can be anything. Whatever it is, it must be excellent. And to make your bake extra light and fluffy, you'll have royal baking powder on hand.
And guys, keep it authentic. We want to see a little bit of you showing up in this bread, and we also want to see a story about your heritage as well.
On that note, your bake starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's bake more memories.
Wat ek vandag gaan maak is 'n melkbroodjie. Saam met die brood maak ek 'n noem-noem jam en dan saam met dit gaan ek 'n kaas spread maak.
I'm picking nom-noms for my jam. I was looking for something that I could forage, and I came across the nom-noms when I went for a walk yesterday. And it's just outside the Tastemaster kitchen. And they're beautiful. This is going to add something unique that's homegrown. So I think it will be very exciting to try something like this in our bread challenge.
I am making a almond and apricot potbroodjie with a bobotie that's been passed on from my granny and my mum, and then a side of red onion chutney. Royal baking powder is super important to make my bread light and fluffy, because that's like, obviously we want a really good texture of our bread, so that's going to be the factor, hopefully.
Today I'm making a fat cook, which is a traditional fried bread, and it's a very famous one in my family, and I'm serving it with minced curry, and I'm still thinking of the second option right now.
I am making steamed bread. I've put a bit of parsley just for color, and I've put some sweet corn as well. So I've just experimented with those. We have the AEG oven with the proofing function. It is amazing. I have never seen anything like that. So I'm quite confident AEG has got my back. Ek maak my ouma en ouma se melkbrood resep. Aliyah she's gonna be my good luck. Love you, baby.
So I'm making a Durban style naan bread. A normal naan bread is a flat bread, traditionally from India, and is made in a tandoor. This bread is inspired by the traditional naan bread and was developed in Durban. When Indians came to South Africa as laborers, we had to use what we had. So yes, we had spices, but we didn't have tandoors, we didn't have all those kind of equipment. So we'd make bread. And with it, I'm making lamb curry. And the third thing I'm making is isa keke. So when growing up, I had a mama, and she used to make a lot of things for me with mas. And since then, I really enjoy the flavors of mas, and I've tried incorporating it into everything that I do. So this is the isa keke, and there's also mas in my bake today.
I'm making a cornbread. Isinkwa sombila. My grain kokwami. Obehlezi esibhekela sona. So besijwayele ukuya kwingadi siyokha umbila. Sikumbila bese ebuya asibhekela isinkwa sombila. I entered the Taskmaster SA competition because I was to try to be a good leader, to be as a good example for my youth and my children who I'm mentoring, and to go there to uplift my skills of baking and to show the country my skills. I love baking because if I bake, I express my emotions, I express my mood on the baking. So the baking is something like therapy to me. Winning the Taskmaster will mean a lot to me because people, they get to know me better, and people, they will trust me even more. Ngenza i-bread, ngizoyenza na homemade raspberry jam, bese ngenza with impepho butter. I'm feeling excited about impepho butter because the first time ngizoyenza something with impepho. So, I'm very excited.
It's nerve-wracking knowing that Fritz is one of the judges and he's the bread king. I'm going to just elevate the flavors a bit to make the fat cook stand out from the original recipe. Basically, it's some chili flakes, some coriander powder, some white pepper, and some salt. I'm going to make Rani Tora proud.
So my dad is from Afrikaans heritage. That's where the potbroodjie comes from. We've made it on many weekends away with our family. And then the bobotie my granny and my mom used to make. So that smell will always remind me of them. And the onion chutney is my little twist of my personal one, something that I really like.
The portion size of the dombolo, eh?
Yes.
And did you say traditional one loaf? Did you go smaller portions?
No.
What strategy did you
I made it smaller. I'm going to use muffin pans so it cooks quicker.
Okay.
And it also looks nicer.
Yeah.
And I'm making spinach and chakalaka as a side, and some chicken wings.
Hey.
And some chicken wings.
Yes,
Nice.
they're in the oven.
Oh, that's a whole meal.
Yes, I'm not getting eliminated today.
Yeah. Okay, well, hey, look.
I don't know if you know this, Senzo, but isinkwa sombila is one of my favorite things. It's the one recipe that my gogo taught me how to make.
Yeah, not my gogo.
Now you learned it from your gogo.
Yeah, but your gogo better fun.
True.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
So is your bread steamed or is it baked?
It's just baked.
It's baked.
Yeah.
So we have high expectations, hey Ma?
Yeah. Good luck. Not too high.
Yeah, very high. Up
But
there.
high, not too high.
As high as your bread will rise. That's how high.
Hi, Tagila. You're making a naan, am I correct?
I
But a
am.
Durban naan.
A Durban naan, yes.
And tell me, what's the difference? I mean, I know traditional Indian naan in the tandoori.
So it's the same flavor, just in buns, and it's nicer to share at the table with the family.
I see you are busy straining some yogurt.
Yes, so this is mas, and I'm making isa keke. Isa keke is mas that's strained out, so kind of like a labne, but it's less tart. And to complement it, I'm making a duka, which is the classically Egyptian spice, but in this case, I've used coriander, cumin, and almonds just to give it some spice and flavor.
Ooh, and texture.
And texture, yeah.
Oh, sounds amazing.
I'm using the salati sugar to make my jam. I always use salati sugar in my bakes, and I have done so since I started my business. It's the only name I trust. Because I'm not very familiar with the num-nums, I could get the taste that I don't like because I've never made it.
Tell me, what is the basis of the bread?
So it's a potbroodjie, obviously in the oven. It's quite simple, but I like that.
And I like a bobotie.
Yes.
I saw that you pressed it slightly back into the tin. Just one thing that you need to be careful with, you can knock it down.
Oh, but it's so big.
Has it already grown since the time you put it in the oven?
Yeah. Where is your guinya dough right now?
It's rising in the oven.
Okay, okay, so nobody likes an oily guinya, so, you know, the oil temperature is really important. It has to be soft. Yes.
You know, just
soft,
a touch.
but
Before it gets to your mouth, it has to be.
What do you like it with besides minced curry?
I mean, I like it with cheese.
I like it with jam.
Jam.
Minced curry. And it has to be hot.
Hot.
That for me.
I hope they left enough
Take
curry
me
powder
home.
for me.
Yeah, but don't blow our heads off. Yeah. So you've got minced curry. What's the other one?
I'm deciding between jam and sambles.
Oh, you haven't even decided
So I'm
yet.
just like winging it right now.
You know, you're not a stranger to being in elimination. Surely you shouldn't be winging it.
I've learned to live on the edge. You only live once.
Shane. Hello. So I don't know if I've ever tried milk bread myself. So it's a baked bread, yes?
It's a baked bread. It's enriched dough. So
Okay,
it's
so
got butter
brioche,
in-
like
brioche.
brioche.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
delicious.
It was my grannies and grannies and grannies.
Okay.
My mom used to tell me stories about everybody sitting around the table and just enjoying how she's kneading the bread, and it used to smell like yeast when you walk into the house. Yeah.
Okay, so num jam is your one accompaniment. What is your other?
Yes, then I'm making a cheese spread, which is going to have mascarpone cheese, ricotta cheese, and it's going to have some honey and some vanilla.
Oh, a cheese spread that went to private school, I think.
I haven't used this pressure cooker before, and so I'm just crossing fingers that it works out. But I'm feeling confident in my flavor at the very least.
My boboatie's really good so far, I think. I don't know.
This smell is killing me.
You're making me happy.
No. I can hear my tummy going. It's beautiful.
Definitely needs more chili. They say they like it hot. So we're gonna bring that heat to the pots.
Impepho, because my traditional ngazi ukuthi if ushisa impepho you're connecting with your ancestors. Ngiyabafila, ngiyabezwa manje bala. Ngizizwa ngisafe kakhulu ke more, even more.
Contestants, you have 1 hour left.
Come on, guys, get those buns in the oven.
I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I've got my bread proofing, my curry cooking, and my third elements training, and I've got 1 hour left. I think I should do more. So I'm gonna try and make my own batter from scratch. Let's try that.
In the past, that one bread I baked, it didn't rise at all. Now it's over rising. So it's now turned into a muffin with burnt charcoal apricots on top. It looks like a bit of a mess.
Still to come, with an hour left on the clock, will Catherine have enough time to save her bread and to avoid elimination?
With Salati, there's so many ways to sprinkle joy in your kitchen.
I'm looking at my bread in the oven, and I think it would be okay if I had to give the judges this right now, but I know I can do better. I've got an hour, so I'm gonna make another bread. I'm adding less yeast to make my bread proof a bit less.
So the oil's not hot enough. I've just got to allow that oil to heat up for a bit more. I'm going to take this out and give it a few more seconds. So the most complicated part of this recipe is to make sure that your fat cook does not burn and that the oil temperature is correct when frying your fat cooks. Because one wrong move and boom, you're gone. Perfect. This is how I want it to be. They are looking beautifully golden brown on the outside. I'm just waiting for them to cool down a bit, and I'm going to cut one open to see if it's cooked in the inside. If it's not right, I'm putting it back in the oil.
I want my jam to reduce some more. I made my cheese spread, so now my bread is proofing in the oven. A second proof. Everything is under control.
I am using salati sugar in my bread. I'm using it in my onion chutney, and I'm using it in my bobotie. The brown sugar is amazing. It just adds a caramelized flavor to everything, and that's what I want. Thank goodness I did another one. It's quite cute, like a shame sad.
It's looking okay. It needs to go longer. I think I figured out the pressure cooker, so hopefully it'll be done in time. Crossing fingers.
So I break open the fat cook. It looks very soft and moist, crispy on the outside, but this is exactly what the judges were looking for. I don't feel like I'm going home today. Beautiful.
The water is not boiling. Like, this is a steamed bread. I need steam. I'm just gonna put my pan inside anyway. Apparently, you can't open it whilst it's still cooking because it might just fall back in.
After putting the buns in the oven to prove, I was noticing that it's not proving as fast as it normally does, and I was confused. And then literally at 1 hour, I realized I didn't put sugar in it. But it did prove perfectly anyway because royal baking powder gave it an extra rise and it completely saved me today. Butter's going in the mixer. I've made my dukkha. My izakeke is basically done. This is going in the oven for 15 minutes. And then the last thing I'm waiting on is this curry.
Ngenze impepho butter. I put some impepho and some onions. Ngafaka beetroot herbs. Right. And it tastes nice. Wow.
Contestants, you have 30 minutes left. Woo! Please make sure your stuff is baked and ready. Go.
Come on, guys! Last push. Oh my gosh. I don't know if there's gonna be enough time for this bread, I'm gonna be honest. It's looking about 25 minutes now and it's risky. It's risen, but I just don't know if it's gonna cook through.
I'm making a jam that is going to be set aside in the fridge. This is going to be one of the sides. It looks like I've got a lot of time to spare, so I'm preparing a bit more side dishes. You know what they say, the more the merrier, so I'm hoping that this works in my favor.
I'm putting the bobotie in the oven. It's normally my mom and my granny's department, so I don't really know what it's meant to look like when it's baked, but I'm hoping that it's going to make in time and be perfectly set.
I don't know. Maybe izoba cooked or even uncooked, I don't know much, but I trust the ALG oven is on sale.
The curry might not be cooked to the way that I normally make it. I believe that I can make it really well at home, but making it in the Taste Master kitchen is a completely different game. I'm starting to feel a little less confident than I was earlier.
I am just wondering if this will be done in the next 10 minutes. It's almost done, it's just I am feeling a bit nervous.
Skiphile isinkwa sami ku-oveni asikhatha ngathola ukuthi asikho cooked kahle, so ngadecide ukuthi uhalf ngobuyisele ku-oveni for maybe just 5 minutes.
Here we go. Our beautiful babies. My bread tastes good. It tastes like I'm staying in the game.
I think I've nailed what Loyiso and Zola were telling me. They said that the magwinya shouldn't be too oily, so I'm just trying to draw out all that oil with the paper towel before plating it.
You know, worst case scenario is that on the edges, and then not give them the whole loaf.
Contestants, you have 10 minutes left.
Right, guys, time's running out. Your bread should be coming out the oven.
Just anyway.
I'm just watching time and it's just flying by, and I'm hoping that this dombolo comes out perfect. At the 1 minute mark, then I'll start plating.
I'm so happy with my bread. It's beautiful, it's brown, it's crispy, it's everything I wanted it to be, and I'm feeling really confident. I dropped the bread.
You okay?
I'm okay.
This is fine.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just pre-broke. No, that's cool. Okay. Yes. Oh.
My nose.
I think I'm gonna take out one and just open it. Yay, it is cooked. It is perfect.
My bread is very high in that tin, and it could go really wrong in the middle. It could be very dense, so definitely don't feel like I'm 100% safe.
I made a lot here because I come from a huge family. My granny always used to over-cater for those unexpected visitors. So, go big or home.
I've somehow managed to pull this all together. At heart, I feel like there has to be something wrong. It happened so fast, the bread fell, I put the butter in this dish, didn't really think about what I was doing. So it could be really good or really bad.
Contestants, your time ends in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drop those buns, everybody. Your time is up. Well done.
My heart is still beating really fast from dropping it, but I'm really glad that it's okay. I think it tastes good, but I'm hoping that it tastes good to the judges.
I hope it tastes just as good as it looks, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm not going anyway.
My Gogo will be proud of me, so I'm feeling happy and confident.
I'm glad my bread rose. I've also never made a bread that hasn't flopped. So it's the first time it hasn't completely flopped yet. So I'm happy.
Usually I am running like a mad person, so I'm feeling very happy today. I think I'm safe.
There's a saying that goes, people eat with their eyes before they even taste the food. And this looks like it could be in a magazine, if I do say so myself.
Whose traditional bread will impress the judges enough to save them from elimination? Find out as they taste their bakes. Who will influence the nation with their creative bakes? Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder.
Well, judges, that was an exciting challenge.
I think that people have done really, really well today. I've seen some breads that I've never seen before, seen some methods I haven't seen before, so I'm excited.
Should we bring on the first bread?
Yes.
The only thing I'm thinking about right now is that I can't drop this tray, and it's heavy. I'm not dropping this again.
Whoa. This looks amazing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you made?
So this is naan bread, well, specifically Durban naan bread. So it's a pull-apart bread. It's normally put on the table for families to share.
Contestant was challenged in the past for not making things from scratch. Making your own butter is next level.
Yeah.
I love the authenticity behind that. But tell me, what should we be expecting from your bread?
So you should be expecting a soft, tender bread on the inside and should be very fragrant. I use toasted fennel seeds. I learned that from the Spice Masterclass.
Wow, you're as excited as we are about this bread.
I am, and I'm eyeing that curry.
Wow. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go for it.
The bread, that amass you can feel.
You can feel it, man.
Make it nice and fluffy.
Oh, that is so good. The curry really complements the spice notes in the bread. And the bread is so tender, really buttery and rich.
Yeah.
Every single element is well executed.
I think she knocked it out the park too. Yeah, I have like no notes. I literally have no
Just
notes.
yums.
This is very special.
Very, very special. Should we bring on the next bread?
Yes.
No, thank you.
I've learned from the previous challenges to never be too confident. Like, please can someone be on my side today because I need it.
Josh.
Josh?
Hello, Catherine. This was your second attempt at your bread. And I have to commend you because I wouldn't necessarily disqualify the first bread, in a tense competition like this, but you stuck to your guns. You said, this is not what I envisioned. And you went again and you just did it in time, like on the last minute. So well done for that. What are you expecting from the texture inside?
I'm hoping for a light and fluffy texture with subtle hints of apricot and almond, but very subtle.
Okay.
Thank you.
How's it look?
Yeah. Bouncing back, spiked. So traditionally, a potbrood is made in a complete full pot with lid in the fire. So It's an interesting version. I understand the take on it, but it is ultimately a tin loaf.
I'm not getting as much of that apricot and almond as I was hoping for.
Yeah, it lacks. I was looking forward to it.
For this to have been her second attempt and for her to get such a perfect rise, fermentation, and a bake on this, I think is very commendable. Her other components also really delicious. I think to call it an apricot bread, maybe a push, but execution of the loaf itself, I think, is really great. Fritz, you gonna keep eating or should we bring on the next bread? One more bite, it's okay.
Fritz is just quiet.
I was very nervous because I was thinking of Fritz is the bread king. Zola likes traditional food because I follow on Instagram. So today's challenge was not the easiest really.
Hi, Tsapiso.
Hello.
I like what I'm seeing here. Tell me about it.
So my mom used to prepare idombolo every Christmas. So the family members will come together and it used to get finished before everything else. So I put a bit of parsley and corn. So just so it doesn't look plain and boring.
Great, thank you.
Feels fluffy.
Okay, I think there's like enough sweet corn per bite, right? Sufficient amount of flavor per. This is better than the steamed bread I did for the masterclass.
Oh, really?
Oh! She really did a great job.
Yeah. The bread is sweet, and then we've got the chakalaka that is sweet. It's just a little bit too sweet, but the bread is beautiful.
This entire spread speaks to my soul. Her dombolo, jerka. I think the pops of corn add interest. I think it's actually an inspired idea, and I think her mom might see it from her.
Yeah.
This is such a unique and great experience for me. I love the texture of this bread. It's like bouncy and firm, but it's soft at the same time. Very good.
Delicious. Okay, we've got more bread to taste.
Okay. Yes.
Fritz, put it down.
Ek loop judges toe en ek is gepla met of ek genoeg gedoen het, want ek het gesien almal maak verskillende baie goed.
Shanae, I think this is going to be my first experience of melkbrood, so I'm very, very excited. Talk us through your two accompaniments.
Yes, so I've got a num jam and then the other one is a cheese spread.
This is literally going to be my first num. I am super excited. So explain to me the flavors and why this makes a good jam.
It makes a good jam because it's kind of sweet and tart.
It's all very pretty.
Thank you, Shanae. We'll destroy the pretty and eat.
Melkbroodjie.
Was there some vanilla bean in here as well? Looks like it.
That is delicious.
It's really soft, fluffy. She got a great bake.
Cheers.
I love that she gave us different variations as well, which is really fun. The num jam is so delicious. It's sweet, but she's kept some of that acidity that the num has. The mascarpone cheese spread also really marries well. Another great bread.
Yeah.
If your heritage is melkbrood, it's not an extremely exciting process. It's a soft white bread, but it's been executed perfectly.
Listen, when Skoon approves of your bread.
You know what I mean? It's a golden handshake, right?
I worried about my bread because ibisekhona le nto ukuthi asivuthwanga ngesikhathi, so I was worried about ukuthi my bread is not cooked well.
Senzo, yanigodusa namhlanje.
Isinkwa sami esinombila, isinkwa sombila, but ngi-ede some ucarrot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gogo wami ubehlala phansi because intombazane ibingekho while ngikhula ngise-high school sengihlala nayo.
Okay.
So ugogo wami ubehlala phansi then asikhombe ukuthi faka umbila, faka uflour.
So she taught you direct, so she'd be happy with this version.
Too much.
Okay.
Khawusixeleleke ngebhotoro le yakho. Ikhangeleka interesting.
Ibhatha yami ngifunde ngayo ku masterclass. So ngibe interested kakhulu because asingazama ukuyitry, so i-first attempt yami.
Okay.
And you're happy with it, Senzo? Did it turn out as exactly how you felt?
It's good. I'm very happy.
And is jam something that you've made before?
We first attempt yami, but Jam.
Okay. So leave us to it. Thank you so much.
This butter is inspired by what we did in the masterclass earlier, and I think he's done a pretty good job at it. Yeah.
I don't think this is a light, fluffy.
No,
this is not what I'm expecting, but it is a little bit gummy in the tube.
Yeah, it's quite heavy.
Usually, traditionally, my family steams it, so it's a very different texture. But I do think that his is a little dry. I think that the Mpepo butter is a triumph. I think that that's delicious. Khanya, you really lit something in him and he did a wonderful job with that.
Yay for the jam, you know, for a first attempt, gotta give him his props, you know.
It's a good jam, it's set, it's beautiful texture. Yeah, a bit disappointing for me.
Same.
I'm very pleased and happy with the way that the presentation came out. I'm happy with the way that the fat cook tastes. If this doesn't meet the criteria, it's home time for me. I made an apricot chili flake jam and then a traditional samuels served with some avocado and red onion, lemon juice and chili flakes.
It looks good.
What a feast.
It is a feast.
Let me know how it tastes, Queen.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm looking and it looks like there's some chili in here as well.
Looks like every component seems to have chili. Chili explosion here. It feels very dense and very oily, hey? Like, look at the amount of oil on my fingers.
Yeah. It's not crispy.
The mince is good.
I think his spread was really thought through, but I do think the accompaniments are the hero and the bread isn't quite matching up to that. I think just the chutney and the mince would have been perfect. And they would have focused more on proving the magwinya properly.
It's hard to eat. It's not there for me.
And I think the chili, everywhere, it's a bit much. You needed a break.
Very sad to end on a disappointing gwinya.
But some good bakes nonetheless.
Yeah, some amazing bakes today.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a difficult choice. We also have to send someone home.
That's part of the process.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, if you can bake a proper South African traditional bread filled with memories and heritage, and do so using royal baking powder, upload it onto socials using the hashtag #TasteMasterSA, you could win a KitchenAid of your very own to bake some more memories at home.
With Senzo and Josh both falling short of the mark, stay tuned to find out who will be safe and who will be going home.
Well done, contestants. This was a tough challenge, tougher than you imagine, I'm sure.
Well, to kick off, I would like to just say, Shanae, I really, really loved your bake this week. It was a really pleasant to eat bread. I loved that num num jam, the incorporation of vanilla throughout the whole thing. It was just like a really, really lovely tea time delight.
Thank you so much.
Josh, your curried mince was very good. Good flavor in the chutney as well. The other sides were unnecessary, didn't add value. But most of all, your fat cook was underwhelming. It was underproofed, it was dense, and it was oily.
Tyler, the quality of the bread, the spices in there, and also accompaniments, they were good. The starting from scratch of your butter, for me, what an effort. And also your amasi, I'm taking that home with me. I like that, you know, you incorporate that in your bread. Thank you.
Tsepiso, your bake took me to such a nostalgic place. Your dombolo or ujeke to me was really soft and fluffy. We thought that the addition of the corn was actually a great idea. Your accompaniments were also very tasty. The only thing was, some of the judges did debate whether everything was a little bit too sweet.
Catherine, again, commend you for taking a second chance on that bread. The bread came out nice, light, fluffy, with a crispy crust on the outside. The onion chutney went well with the rest of the bake. The booti, very solid. Even Mama signed off on it, but never anything unnecessary. We felt like the apricot and the almonds in the bread used didn't contribute to the bake.
Senzo, we felt that your butter, your Mpepo butter, was superb. Khanya even thought maybe it was better than hers. You made jam for the very first time today. Sir, you can make jam. It was delicious. We did, however, feel that your Sinkwa Sombila was a little bit dense.
We had a lot of really great bakes today, but one stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that one is... Mom?
The winner for this challenge is... Tyler!
This is absolutely a huge confidence boost for me. I really struggle to give myself any credit in the kitchen. I'd rather say that it's terrible than being even slightly confident that it's good and realize the potential that I actually do have.
Today, there will be a bottom two announced. When I call your name, please step forward. Senzo. And Josh?
Of course it's Durban.
Today was a seemingly simple challenge, so we were extra strict about the technique, the flavor, the texture of your breads. Both of you produced accompaniments that were amazing, but today's challenge was about the traditional South African breads, and unfortunately, both of yours fell short.
The next contestant who will be going home is...
I'm feeling nervous, very nervous.
Josh.
I'm like, am I hearing properly? Am I really going home? I kind of want to be like to the judges, I want a rematch. But at the same time, I'm feeling very disappointed in myself.
Josh, we're very sad to see you go. You've been an amazing energy. It's been a joy to watch you have so much fun in the kitchen, to bring so much fun into the kitchen. Unfortunately today, your bake sent you home, but we know that you're going to keep baking, you're going to keep spreading your love for all things television.
Yes, queen.
And all things baking, so we wish you the best on your journey going forward. If you'd like to say any last words?
Oh, I just want to say to the team, everybody, you guys have been amazing. The judges, yes, queen, you always slay. The contestants, Catherine, my day one, girl, you better win this damn competition. And I love you all so much. We've built connections that will last a lifetime. Senzo, you still young! Better make Durban proud.
Thank you very much.
Josh and I formed a bond, and I'm very disappointed that he was going home. I'm surprised as well. I didn't expect that.
We're gonna miss him. Gonna miss him a lot.
Senzo, you live to bake another day. Make it count.
They choose to save me. Obvious, it's a competition, so when we work on a survivor, when I work on a loser. So today, ni survivor. I'm happy.
Next Friday evening, the Tastemaster SA hits the road to the Route 44 market in Stellenbosch, as the top 8 are issued their biggest challenge yet, to take one step closer to the grand prize of 50,000 rands in cash from Royal Baking Powder, more than 80,000 rands in KitchenAid products, 50,000 rands worth of AEG appliances, plus the opportunity to be the face of future SABC cooking shows. Join us again next Friday at 7, repeat Sunday at 3 on SABC2.
Another feel-good production.